Going on to you, Taurus, out here. So you have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. All right. So you, Taurus, need to watch it right now with your disappointment. There's a sense of you, Taurus, thinking, when is it going to be your turn to actually find someone that is a good match for you? Now is not the time for you to be thinking about that, because that leads down into a whole other spiral of thinking you're not actually going to be accomplished. You're not actually going to find the person that you're looking for. I'm seeing that, again, the Knight of Cups, you are out here trying to put yourself in the best kind of situations to actually meet somebody and to get things done that you want. But the Nine of Swords speaks to how you just being disappointed. Listen, at the end of the day, it comes down to it. At the end of the day, it comes down to the purpose that you create for yourself. Everybody's talking about purpose, purpose. But then, when I talk about purpose, right, in the dating community, when I talk about purpose, because I'm not part of the dating community, people chalk it up to, black magic and evil doership. That's not the case at all. When you understand your own purpose, that's literally the same thing as defining for yourself who you're going to be, basically. When you don't have anything else going on for you and you have to come up with your own purpose, you have to come up with your own agenda, that is self-creation. So, that's what free will is. So the Ace of Wands and the Judgment right here represents you happen to be in a situation where, again, you gotta stop it with the spiraling out, because yeah, you're dealing with some questionable characters. Some people right now who are being real idiots. Some of the interactions that you had is, the best way to get you is to try to shame you. And that's not really going to work. So a lot of you, Taurus, are thinking about, well, what exactly should you do, right? The Queen of Cups, the Strength, and the Four of Pentacles. It speaks to, how... what is the brand new perspective, right? Like how should you think to make sure that this type of stuff doesn't happen to you? And to be honest with you, once again, right, because maybe you need a refresher course with this. I've talked about this prior too, about how it is that, a lot of the times when you're doing better and people reject you, more oftentimes than not, it's a good thing. And then somebody wrote in the comment section of one of my videos, so like 5 people basically ignoring them is a good thing. And it's like, yeah, it is, because you also have to take into consideration the quality of the people that you are trying hard to be in their lives. You're trying hard. You're spiritually fighting to be in the life of a person who is inconsistent, fighting to be in the life of a person who's unreliable. You're trying to do everything that you can to elbow your way into a person's life who moves like that. Why would you want to be in a person's life like that? Who is this? Who is unreliable? You can't count on their word. You can't count on their actions. They constantly flip-flop. They have no loyalty. Why would you fight to be in a person's life like that? And, this is what I mean when I say that, you really got to pay attention from both sides of the whole situation, because you Taurus over here thinking about, well, is it a good idea for you to stop? That's up to you if you want to. Or if you want to take a break, or if you want to continue to go and get to know other people. That is totally up to you, regardless of which of those choices that you choose. But you have to understand that you have to understand that all of those choices though are 100% your choice. Um, I will say this though, the Four of Swords, more often than not, you are going to continue to move forward. The Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords is that you are just going to create more boundaries. See, now we need to talk about that. You shouldn't try to have so many boundaries up to the point where no one can make a move. Everybody has to be perfect. Perfection is not what it is that you're striving for. Excuse me. Perfection is what you're striving for, but not in the way that you think. It should not be strived for in a way where you are trying to control people, put people into a box which you can control. When I say you should be striving for the ideal or perfection, I'm talking about it from a perspective of progression. Somebody who is showing you some promise, somebody who's a good candidate for them to actually get chosen, right, by you, as opposed to, what it is that you are accustomed to, right? For instance, when you first talk to somebody and you interact with them, blah blah, blah 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 blah, and they don't put any kind of effort into you, right? Or as investing, because I ain't even gonna use that word. I think that word to describe dating is stupid. But but basically when you do stuff like that, right? Then you say, okay, you learn your lesson. Then you move to somebody and that person may treat you a little bit better than the last person. That's what it is that you want. You want that progression all the way up until you can get yourself into a functional, well-working relationship where the two of you have similar value systems. That's what it is that you should be striving for. It's not going to be just this stairway to heaven kind of thing, right? It's gonna be this slow, gradual build up. You got to know what it is that you should be looking for. As long as you're doing better, right? The next time you interact after you get out of a relationship that wasn't working before, then you're doing better, right? And I'm not talking about it from this usury perspective either. That's not what I'm talking about. The reason why I have to say it like that is because the Seven of Swords represents you have to watch out with creating too much boundaries. Because when you create too much boundaries, now it's like you're always on the last straw, the last straw, the last straw. It's always like, this is it, this is it, this is it. And you're not going to attract people that way because, you'll get stressed out. Because when a person shows you, right, like let's just say they playing a game with you, you're going to be like, this is lame. And you're going to be like, I shouldn't have trusted you. Well, why did you try to hang out with them in the first place? Right? You're just trying to see if they could be trusted, right? Obviously they can't because they want to pull some dumb stuff now, but prior to, you didn't know for sure unless this person's showing you obvious issues with them. If the person you're not necessarily sure, that's why it is that you getting to know them. You're trying to see what type of time they on. You're trying to see what type of time they on. And yeah, so just take note of that, right? The Two of Swords, and like I said before, you see a lot of you Taurus are not really comfortable with it. You have to become a lot more comfortable with this. You got to become more okay with rejection. You got to become more okay with like just sitting back and observing some people that you would be getting to know is a good pick. Stop trying to, because from you, Taurus, you're almost like expecting every person that you meet to be the one. And that's what it is that I'm trying to say. Stop trying to expect every person to be the one. Look for the one, right? That's a good match for you. But observe. See, you're not observing, you're not interacting, you're reacting. You need to observe. You need to try to see what a person is on. You do you step to them correctly, and then see what they're on. Stop trying to get out ahead in front of it. Stop trying to be like, oh, XYZ, unless the person obviously tells you that they're not good, or they come out and they tell you some real dysfunctions or something like this, or you see some serious dysfunctions about them, right? Something that's obvious about them. Just sit back and observe. Stop trying to get out ahead in front of it. Because what I'm seeing here from you, Taurus, is that as much as I love you, Taurus, a lot of y'all are trying to get out ahead in front of this. You're trying to be like, whoa, these boundaries. And this is where it is that you got to watch out for this, because this is where it starts to get into user territory. This is why it is that people who have a hard time dating, they will talk about overly specific things about what it is that they want. They want the person to take them out on a date them, pay for the date, this, that, and the third. And part of the reason why it is that they made it so specific is because some of the people that they've messed with they put on this act like they were going to do those things, and then they actually didn't. So they made themselves look like they were decent decent people when they actually flipped the script on those individuals, and now they done gave you the okie doke when you're emotionally invested, right? Or sometimes it could be a case of some people just deliberately ignoring obvious dysfunctions and deal breakers that the person has. And what I'm teaching you, Taurus, is to stop trying to get out ahead in front of it and just observe. You know, some of the people that I have stopped talking to myself is because I didn't be like, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work out ahead of time. I sat there. You know what I'm saying? This is why it is that I keep saying, and I'm diving deeper into some game. This is why it is that I say that love and pain are in the same vein, because you're not going to be able to know 100% if a person is untrustworthy and unreliable until you get a chance to see their true colors. You have to wait. I ain't gonna say most, but sometimes you have to wait to see instead of trying to predict it, because trying to get out ahead in front of it puts you in the user category. Now you start talking about, you better do this, do that, do this, that, and the third, and then now you start sounding entitled. You start being entitled, all because you want a person to just date you and the quality of who they are be on point, but they're not on point. They're not on point. So the problem is them, and the problem is them. But the problem can be you if you're trying to force the situation, force a person to do the right thing, right? Stop trying to articulate or teach dysfunctional people why having a good value system is a good thing, why it's beneficial to them. If they want to be stupid, let them do that. Let them be stupid. Their arrogance, their ego, their overconfidence, their hubris will be their downfall. So stop trying to force the situation. Because what I'm seeing here is that you, Taurus, are like, again, you're trying, let's clarify the Seven of Swords. You know, you Taurus are trying to like get out ahead in front of it. Like, oh, you know, maybe you should quit. If you want to quit, honestly, if you want to quit, then you should quit. If you want to continue to date, then you should do that. If you want to take a break, then you should do that. You're an adult at the end of the day. So to clarify the Seven of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords, Six of Cups, Judgment, right? The Judgment, the Knight of Wands, and then you have the World. This is what I'm talking about. Because the Knight of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Judgment represents, here you, Taurus, going. Here you, Taurus, go. You're already disappointed, right? You allowed yourself to be disappointed in that way, right? And maybe, you know, disappointment comes with it because you want to look for somebody. I get it. But look, you get out ahead in front of it, and what is it that it's going to show? It's going to show that you're going to feel terrible. And because what happens? The Six of Cups. This person comes back anyway. So this is what I'm talking about. You being super hard on yourself right now. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing things for what they are. That if they are unreliable, then it means that you should not be dealing with them at all, right? And they come back anyway. But guess what? If you hang out with them now it's bittersweet, because if you hang out with them, you get what you get, because they showed you that they're not meant to be trusted. You know, the Knight of Wands and the World right here, right? The Knight of Wands and the World right here represents how, you know, you just have to understand to be patient, you know, with this thing. See, oh my gosh, if you, Taurus, even really understood the nuances and what goes into a relationship, all of the little details of why relationships could work and why relationships do not work, right, in tandem with one another, you would be surprised. You know, how many people accuse me of cheating, accuse me of capable of cheating. And it's like, yeah, I'm capable of cheating. Everybody is capable of cheating. But just because I'm capable of cheating doesn't mean that I will. And that's the thing that some people don't understand when it comes to dealing with me, just to kind of show you that you're not the only one going through it. You know, it's the fact that people sound like they want a mindless drone. They sound like they want someone to be completely without free will, because then they're like, oh, it's even the possibility that I don't like. And it's like, where are you from? What planet of the delusionals are you seriously from? This is what life is. We are creating our own destiny. This ideology that you don't even want the person to choose for themselves what they want certain outcomes to be like. How much of a weirdo does a person have to be like, yeah, I want to take away free will? Huh? Suvaking? Say again? Huh? Yeah? So that's pretty much it though, right? Love and pain are in the same vein. But that's it. Peace. Have a good one, y'all.